Hi everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and build this warm and rustic mansion. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1. So this is on a 50 by 50 lot. I normally do 64 by 64 lots for mansion builds. If you don't know, today every Sunday on my channel we'll do a 64 by 64 lot mansion build. I mean, this is an exception, but it's still, I think, classes as a mansion build for being on a 50 by 50. So, you know, I was kind of just wanting to build something, but it just didn't really feel right doing it on a 64 by 64. I felt like there's just going to be a lot of empty space for what I was aiming to do, so I just decided to do on the 50 by 50. It's a little bit smaller, it means I can concentrate on the space a little bit more. I'm going to put a little card on screen now where you can see some information about the build, including the bedrooms and bathrooms, the price, and things like that. So that's just to get a little bit more information about the build. And yeah, so this took me, like it says on the card, about 2 hours to do, which isn't really that long at all, to be honest. And since it's on a smaller lot, you know, it meant I could do it in a little bit of a quicker time. And I'm actually really happy with this build. It's probably one of my favourites in terms of my seasons builds that I've done so far. I've used quite a few of the glass roofs as well, which you'll see throughout the build, and I really liked how that turned out. So this speed build is about 16 minutes. I did really go through like this, all the footage, and really kind of concentrated it down to the most not really exciting bits, but cut out all of the you know, the boring bits and stuff. So I went through quite a few times trying to do that. And you can actually see that we're building in just normal build mode, not in free build mode. If you don't know, free build mode is where you just go into the world map thing, and then you just go in and you know, like, and then just click the build mode thing, so it has the infinity sign next to the money. Well, I've actually moved in a sim here, and then I've went into build mode, and that's because if you just go into free build mode with seasons, it'll just kind of show you like the generic weather that we had before seasons. But if you do it in build mode like this, you actually have the weather that's around it, you know what I mean? So you can see all the different colored trees and stuff like that. So I did like that just for the speed build purpose. But it does mean that the lighting is a little bit odd in this build. It's a little bit dark at times. I think a little bit later on it you know, gets a little bit better, but for like around this time now, as you can probably see, it's a little bit dark. It is just like during the day, but just because of the lighting and, you know, to do with the seasons and stuff, it does change the lighting up a little bit, which I don't think is a bad thing, because it makes it a little bit more realistic actually. But for the speed build purpose, it's a little bit irritating. I'm actually really hope we'll get like a mod or something, or a cheat or something like that, where we can actually just change the weather, because having to go in and use the weather machine to change the weather every single time is a little bit irritating, because when I'm doing speed builds all the time, it's just you know, irritating to do that. So I love a cheat to do that, which, you know, to change the weather, which, you know, I'm sure somebody make a mod of you know, shortly. So since this build didn't actually take me that long, I did actually include a little bit more of the footage than I normally would, of some bits that I would normally cut out. So me going around with the terrain paints and stuff isn't really that exciting, but since this speed build was a little bit shorter, I thought I'd go and include it, because I do get quite a lot of questions asked about how I do these type of things, and since in a lot of my builds I do cut them out for being so boring, I thought I'd go ahead and show you them in today's build. Speaking of kind of like that sort of thing, I am actually planning on doing another kind of building tutorial, but this time doing a full start to finish building tutorial, because I've had a few requests to do that, and I've had the idea to do it for quite some time now, so I think it'll be a good time to go around and get to it. So that's probably going to be coming up maybe next week even, or maybe the week after, I'm not too sure yet. But speaking of kind of builds and stuff, I have done a load of seasons builds so far. I did get early access to it, so on the embargo lifted I did like 5 videos, and I've done loads more since then as well. So there is a seasons playlist up on my channel. I'll leave a link down below to it, so you can go ahead and check it out and see all of the seasons builds I've done so far, and they're all up on the gallery as well. So like I said, my origin ID is real Thomas TV1, so make sure you go ahead and check those out. And today I actually hit 90,000 downloads on the gallery, which is absolutely crazy. I wasn't expecting that at all. It was like maybe like last week or 2 weeks ago or something, I hit 80,000 downloads, so that's been another 10,000 downloads, which is crazy. I'm also approaching 1,000 followers on the gallery as well. So we're just working on the outside finishing here, as you can see. Since it's on a smaller lot, well, what happens is on the bigger lots that I do, it normally ends up having a lot of landscaping to do and things like that, and that always takes up the space. Well, since there's a little bit of a smaller lot, it meant that the garden space was a little bit smaller, so I decided to kind of focus on it a lot more. So you can see we've got lots of kind of seating areas and, you know, just additional kind of activities, like outdoor activities and stuff. which I wouldn't normally include as much in my other builds. So it was a good opportunity to do that as well, since we're working on a little bit of a smaller lot. And yeah, so there was something I was just about to mention. Oh yeah, that was it. So tomorrow I'm actually going to have another seasons build, and at the point of recording, this is currently the 23rd, but tomorrow at the minute, it might change, but hopefully there'll be a collab going up tomorrow. It's actually going to be a group collab with a few of my Sim friends, which is Chloe Sims, Emmy Sims, and also Dr. Ashley as well. So I've got a collab coming up with those 3 people tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I mean, it is, I don't know if it's set in stone yet, it's definitely going to be tomorrow at the time I'm doing this voiceover, but I'm pretty sure it is. But make sure you follow me on Twitter as well to stay tuned for that, as I'll be keeping you up to date with all that information. And yeah, so we're now onto the inside. You can see that I've already done all the wall coverings and flooring tiles and stuff like that. Well, I normally cut that out anyway, but especially for this build, because we'll all have this problem recently since the seasons update, or maybe it was since installed seasons, I don't really know, but where we're getting a lot of lag in build mode, so it's really annoying, especially when I'm on bigger lots. When I'm working on smaller lots, it isn't really a problem, but when I'm placing down wall coverings and flooring and fences and stuff like that, it just gets, the lag just gets too much. I can't even describe it, it's ridiculous. So I have to cut that out of the build footage because it does get a little bit too much, and yeah, so just to kind of save you not having to be put through that, I just took it out of the footage. But you know what, you can kind of see the wall coverings anyway when we get to that room, so I feel like it's sometimes a little bit of a waste of time because you can see the wall coverings now, so I feel like there's no point of me showing you the footage of me placing down that wall covering, if that makes sense. Sometimes if the build's going to be a little bit shorter, I might just include that footage in. It just depends really. So this is the kitchen here. You can see that we've kind of got like a darker colour scheme running throughout this whole house. I felt like that really fit with the autumn theme actually, so that's what we went for. And also kind of pops colour like the orange curtains as well, to fit with the autumn theme. And also that painting there, you can just see on the left above that console table, and the one that's kind of like the different panels put together. Absolutely love that painting. That's probably one of my favourite items from the seasons pack actually. I mean, apart from all the weather and stuff, but in terms of decorations, I really like it because all the colour swatches are actually really vibrant. So we did a little dining room there, you may have just saw, and that was also under one of the glass roofs as well. And also this room here, which is also under a glass roof. This is kind of like the more of the informal sort of family room. We did have the fireplace living room, which was more of a formal place because, as you would have saw, I didn't have a TV, but that room did. So that's kind of a more relaxed, informal type of room. So this one is the can't speak. This room here is the garage area, or the garage, however you say it. And what I always do if I include these in a build is that I normally turn them into kind of a multi-purpose activity room sort of thing. So you can see we've got workout equipment, we've got the laundry room in here, and also like a woodworking, I don't know what it's called, woodworking bench or something, and also kind of like some instruments and stuff, just some general kind of activities, which I feel like is something that a lot of people turn their garages into, is that kind of that sort of thing. So, that's what I tend to do. I could have, of course, put another car in there, but we've also got 2 outside, so I don't really think we need, loads inside the home as well. So this is the kind of study room, again, going for that kind of autumny theme with the red sort of orangey colours, and with the curtains as well. I absolutely love those curtains. They are pretty similar to the ones we've got with cats and dogs, kind of like a recolor sort of thing, and I did talk about that more in my opinions and thoughts video. If you want to go ahead and check that out, it's just about 5 minutes long, kind of talking about all the different aspects of the pack, and kind of just giving my thoughts of it, like a mini review sort of thing. So feel free to go ahead and check that out. It's in the seasons playlist, like I mentioned at the start, which is linked down below. So apart from what I said about it, I actually really like that orange colour swatch, and it fits really well with this kind of themed build as well. So this room right here, I don't really know what type of room this is. I think this is the master bedroom. I can't really think. Maybe it is. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really plan when I'm doing like the floor plans and stuff which is going to be the master bedroom, because a lot of the rooms are actually the same size, and a lot of the rooms have their own ensuite and things like that. So it's kind of hard to kind of determine, I suppose, what one is going to be the master bedroom and which one's just going to be like a guest room or whatever. In this build here, I've actually only got 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, which is actually not a lot. It does sound a lot compared to some builds and stuff, and what some people might class as, a lot. But for me, it is not a lot at all. I think it was maybe about a month or so ago, I did that 3-floor mega mansion which had like 26 bedrooms, so compared to that it is not a lot at all, but you know, it is just supposed to be a family home, and also for one of the first times in a while I've did a kids room in this build, which I don't do a whole lot actually. I've mentioned this before, but with a lot of the homes that I do, not so much this one, but a lot of the homes that I do for the mansion builds every Sunday, a lot of them are a little bit more of the upper class sort of thing, a little bit more luxurious, expensive, so if I'm having a very traditional style home and things like that, putting a kids room in which is all very fun and colourful never really works, so I just tend to leave that out. But I've actually kind of got like a teens and a toddler room in, so it's not, you know, really a kids room, but we've got like a single bedroom which I always forget to put, well, not really forget, I just tend not to put single beds in a room. I don't know why, I just never do, it's always double beds. So I did one of those which could maybe be classed as a teens room or something, or maybe like a pre-teen sort of age, which we don't really have, but you know, you can use the imagination. And we'll also have like a toddler room. I just make it kind of pink, so you know, if you have a girl toddler, that's fine. If you want to use for a boy or you want to change it up, that's absolutely fine. You can do what you want, sorry. But I just kind of just use it as like a basic thing while I was making the house. So you know, you can always do that when you download the home for yourself. If you need to make, you know, slight changes to the home to fit your family, feel free to do that. It's absolutely fine. It is a family home after all, so maybe you're downloading this for your family, so you need to change it up if you need to. So this is the room right here with a single bed in. I don't really know why I wanted to do a single bedroom. Maybe because I had the idea of doing like a teens room, and I don't know why, but I felt like this is more of a teens room type of thing. I don't really know why, to be honest. It just turned out to be like that, so that's what we're doing. And yeah, so we're just kind of doing a bit of finishing here. Again, it's got this wall covering, which is something that I used to use quite a lot, probably about like a year ago, or maybe not that long ago, but in a lot of my builds in the past, I've done a lot of like red colours in my builds, and it kind of got too much at one point, so I kind of stopped using it. So going back to it now, it's really weird because I haven't used it in quite some time actually. But yeah, so I think this is one of the last rooms we're working on. I don't know how many it is, like how many more I've got left, but I don't really think it's that many, especially considering there's only 5, you know, bedrooms. And also in terms of the bathrooms, I don't include that in the footage. It's always very boring. All of the bathrooms are the same, like literally identical. All of the 3 bathrooms have the same wall coverings and flooring and all the same furniture, so I just don't tend to include that in the speed build portion of the video. I know a lot of people do that. I hear a lot of people who I watch speed builds of who do that same thing for it being such a boring room, so I decided not to include it in today's build. So this is the toddler room that we're working on right here. Just put a few decorations and you know, a few kind of toys and stuff like that. Pretty basic. I didn't really want to clutter it up too. Oh, I talked too fast there. I didn't want to clutter it up too much because I kind of felt it would take away from the, I guess, like autumny sort of feel, because it's like a pink room. So I thought putting a lot of fun colours and stuff wouldn't really fit the, you know, the theme of the home, but just make it more practical in a way for a kid. So it's kind of really hard to decide when I do these kid rooms, and that's one of the reasons I don't do them too often. But yeah, so I think this is the last room we're working on right now, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this voiceover up here. I really hope you enjoyed. In the comments section down below, let me know about what you thought of this build. If you have any more suggestions for seasons builds, or kind of just any build ideas in general really that you want to see next, then please let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, so make sure you leave that down below in the comment section. Like I said, this is up in the gallery. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and be sure to go ahead and check out the rest of my seasons builds, which are linked down below in the playlist. Leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!